Why Obi Cubana's APC appointment is breaking the Igbo political code? Here is the uncomfortable truth nobody wants to say out loud. In Igbo land, money has an expiry date. And today, one billionaire may have just discovered that. This is not about APC. It is not even actually about Obi Cubana. It is about a political culture that refuses to be bought. No matter how shiny the packaging looks, stay with me, because what you are about to hear explains why power keeps misleading the Southeast and why history may be repeating itself. For decades, Nigerian politics followed a simple formula. Find the richest man, give him a title, use him to control the people. That formula worked in many regions of the country. But in the Southeast, it keeps failing again and again. So when Obi Cubana accepted the role of city boy coordinator for the Southeast under the APC structure, many expected celebration, excitement, maybe even political momentum. But what followed instead was backlash, anger, and something more dangerous than anger, disappointment. Why did this appointment trigger such a strong reaction among Ndi Igbo? Let's talk about it. The first mistake analysts make when discussing Igbo politics is assuming that Igbos think like everyone else. They don't. In the North, political power often flows through hierarchy, emirs, loyalist chains, centralized structures. In the Southwest, influence often flows through organization, party machinery, and ideological bloc. But in Igbo land, power flows through credibility. Every man is a king in his own house. Every community has a voice. Every voter believes their opinion matters. This is why wealth alone does not translate into political authority in the Southeast. You can be respected as a businessman and stay rejected as a political leader. You can be celebrated socially and stay ignored at the ballot box. This distinction is critical, and it is where many politicians get it wrong. If there was ever a moment that should have ended this debate forever, it was the 2023 election. Obi Cubana's own brother contested an election. He had money, he had name recognition, he had connections, he had visibility. Yet the Peter Obi movement swept through the Southeast like a political tsunami. That election sent a clear message. Celebrity is not a structure. Wealth is not ideology. And billionaires do not automatically command votes. This is not theory. This is not emotion. This is recent political history. When people ask today, what political influence is Obi Cubana actually bringing to the table? That question is not coming from jealousy. It is coming from experience. Now let's talk about the appointment itself. Obi Cubana is a self-made billionaire, older than Tinubu, a figure with national recognition. Yet, the role assigned to him is City Boy Coordinator for the Southeast, not ambassador, not director general, not a policy-driven national position. A political coordination role created and handed down by the son of the sitting president. In politics, titles are not just titles, they are signals. And to many Ndi Igbo, this signal said one thing clearly: this appointment was not about leadership, it was about alignment. People are not angry because Obi Cubana associated with APC. No, people are angry because he did not submit himself to the people. If he truly believed in the APC project, there was a clear path: contest an election, House of Reps, Senate, Governor, win or lose, let the people decide. That would have earned respect. But appointments do not test popularity. They bypass consent. And in Igbo political culture, bypassing the people is the fastest way to lose legitimacy. Now, here is the part many people have forgotten or never connected. We have seen this movie before. In 2014 and 2015, late Chief Ifeanyi Ubah, CEO of Capital Oil and Gas, one of the biggest indigenous oil marketers in Nigeria, a billionaire from Anambra State, made a similar move. He was appointed Transformation Ambassador of Nigeria (TAN) for the then President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan. Jonathan was a Southern incumbent president. Many believed the South would rally. Many believed money, appointments, and elite alignment would secure victory. But what happened? Jonathan lost the 2015 election. Not just lost, but lost decisively to Muhammadu Buhari. And what followed for Ifeanyi Ubah and Capital Oil was devastating. After the election, regulatory agencies closed in. EFCC investigation intensified. AMCON pressure mounted. Capital Oil collapsed under political and institutional weight. A man once celebrated as a symbol of success became a cautionary tale. Not because he was poor, not because he was foolish, but because political alignment does not guarantee political protection, especially when the people are not with you. Now fast forward to today. Another billionaire, another Anambra son, another Southern incumbent power structure, another symbolic appointment. History is knocking, and Ndi Igbo are asking a hard question. Why do our elites keep repeating the same mistake? Power changes, government fall, but consequences remain. This is why the backlash is emotional. Many Ndi Igbo feel their elites are closer to power than to the people. When systems oppress the masses, the elites negotiate comfort. When wealth aligns openly with power, people don't see strategy, they see survival. And wealth that once inspired admiration begins to look like protection. This is how trust collapses, not overnight, but visibly. The phrase "city boy coordinator" might sound playful, but to many in the Southeast, it sounds dismissive. It sounds like a role meant for political jobbers, not national figures. It raises an uncomfortable question. Why would a billionaire with global exposure accept a role that looks subordinate, unserious, and disconnected from governance? To many observers, the message is simple. They don't see you as a policymaker. They see you as a political errand man. And accepting that role made the perception worse, not better. APC may believe symbolic appointments can weaken the Peter Obi movement. But what if the opposite is true? What if the Southeast has entered a phase where ideas matter more than access, where conviction matters more than connections, where consistency beats titles? If that is the case, then the appointment doesn't weaken the movement, it strengthens it. Tinubu will come and go. Governments will rise and fall. Power will change hands. But political choices leave fingerprints on history. Chief Ifeanyi Ubah's story reminds us of that. And today, history is watching again. So the real question is not just for Obi Cubana. It is for Ndi Igbo. Can wealth still buy political royalty in the Southeast? Or has that era finally ended? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Disagree respectfully. This conversation is bigger than one man.